Hey, Micah. Let's get right into it here. So, nice looking setup. Really like your posture recently. And nice looking takeaway. Pretty much going right up the plane. Can't argue with that. Now, I'm seeing your head pull back a little bit still. So, I remember you had this device or you had built something. Maybe it's actually in the background over here where you had mounted that on the front of your forehead so that when you were making rehearsals or shots, your head was not backing up. So I would continue doing that. There's a little bit of pullback, as you can see. Now, the main reason, too, why does the head pull back? You'll find if you make a more angular shoulder turn, so we'll call that, 31, Lucas Glover. It's not like he's turning way steeper than you, but I don't know. A little closer to 40, wouldn't you say? All right. So the big thing, though, this transition move, right? How do we get the club to shallow out like so? You see it with Ben Hogan. You see it with Brooks Koepka. You see it with Joaquin Neiman and lots of tour guys. Say recipe for consistency, club head speed. How do you do it? All right. Well, this lesson will really emphasize angles. What do I mean by that? Well, at address, again, really good setup position. We'll call this 54 degrees. At the top of your swing, your club is roughly 42 or 43 degrees. So you're flat of the plane. You are flat of the plane. And when you're flat of the plane, it's really difficult to shallow it out anymore since you're already laid off. That's why that move will be so difficult from this position. So if we draw a line here at that 43, watch what happens. You're actually now at 47, right? So you're getting a little bit steeper, just barely, but you're hitting in a lot of respectable positions. So I'm not trying to be overly critical. I mean, this is the best your swing has looked at P6 right here. Now, that club is coming down above the right forearm. It's not stuck. Before, you were coming way from the inside. And then, of course, when I first saw you a few years ago, you were significantly over the top. So the club was coming down like here, really vertical. So I could see why you would be hitting the ball great. But there's always room for improvement, in my opinion. So really the shoulder turn, the head movement, but this is all about angles. So again, probably the most important part of this lesson is to get the club, and if you saw it in that Facebook group, what I was doing, at the top of your backswing, I would strongly recommend you have this club aimed somewhere between 55 and 75 degrees. That's your range. 55 to 75. Anywhere in that would be acceptable. I wouldn't want you to be crossed or anything. And guys on tour will have it, at 90, like aimed right towards the flagstick. But I just don't think that position would make this move. So let me back up here. Just let's go to Lucas Glover. So just proof, right? Where's he at? Okay, he's at 57. So, okay, he fell within my parameter of what I said. I said, 55 to 75? So if he's at 57, and then at P5, he's at 42. So that's 15 degrees of shallowing right there. 15 degrees of shallowing, which is awesome. And then watch the head, right? It's going to go down. It's not backing up at all. Actually tipped forward a little bit, so a little bit wonky, but As he goes down, it's going to be nice and consistent, nice and stable. And then really notice, to kind of close this lesson out, look at the arm structure. This is key. So like he's got a little bit of bend with that right forearm because he's making an angular turn, good pivot and all that. But with that right elbow squeezing in front, once that gets in front of his body and his upper trunk is a lot more open than you. Like, not the lower body is one thing, but the upper trunk is a lot more open. So he's going to swing left. If you look where this club is exiting, you'll see this again with good players. Not that we want to like throw our back out, but with Keen Neiman is that kind of move. Look how low into the left that arc is. So with you, your exit's kind of high, right? Which would make sense based on the swing plane. And at impact, there's not a whole lot of your upper trunk is not fully cleared. So like we can see your left arm still, and you don't have a lot of bend in the right elbow. So that right elbow is still what I would call a little bit stuck behind you yet, but better than before. P5, your right elbow is at least lower than your left elbow. That's an encouraging sign. So just work on those angles. Let me know, and then again, that head movement. But that's probably the most important part of the lesson. Just lots of pause reps. Make sure at the top you're somewhere between 55 to 75, and then that shallowing move. And you might have to rehearse this so aggressively. I don't care if you miss the ball. You have to exaggerate the hell out of this kind of stuff to really see a visual change. So get to the top, pause completely, and then just got to twist that club back. Mostly you're doing it with the wrist. It's some supination in your right forearm, but I think you get the idea. So anyways, let's talk. Let me know what you think, what questions you have, and keep at it.